Greetings, fellow gamers. This is Gamer Guy in a Suit from the Echo Army YouTube channel. Today I'm bringing you a look at a couple of games that I came across in Steam's Greenlight. This Greenlight Spotlight, as I like to call it, will highlight some games from independent developers that would like to get onto Steam via the Greenlight program. Many of you are familiar with it. You go in, you give it a thumbs up if you think you would buy it, and once it gets enough votes, Steam puts it out on Steam for sale. First up this week is Deep Space Dash. Deep Space Dash is a first-person futuristic space runner. It is the first game brought to us by Delusional Studios. Its intended price point will be under $5. You are a convict in an intergalactic high-security prison at an unknown location. You have managed to escape your cell but are lost in a huge maze. In this game, you have but one option: run. You try to escape from the security drones, collect power-ups, and avoid traps. The only motivation you have is hope. You want to be free once more. Created in and run on the Unreal Engine, the game will feature full controller support as well as Steam achievements and multiple game modes. Deep Space Dash will be released first on PC and then others to follow. It will also be optimized for the Oculus Rift and mobile virtual reality. If the community gets behind the project, they intend to expand the gameplay as well in early access. If that occurs, we also hope to bring it to console if sales permit them to do so. Deep Space Dash was, of course, created by Delusional Games and will be published under Forever Humble PDX. I gave this game a shot myself, and I found it to be rather enjoyable. It's very, very difficult. It's a hard game. I don't know if you noticed the gameplay behind me. It's, I died within like the first 2 seconds of starting up the game the first time. But that's a good thing. I enjoy that as long as it's part of the challenge of the game. I've played a few levels. The maze game level seems to be not fully fleshed out yet, since you can only go left and right, and there appears to be some parts where you may need to turn and not face forward anymore. However, the Chaser game I had a lot of fun with. I played that extensively. I started getting really good and started being able to get really far. You have to really pay attention to these power-ups that they have lined up on the left-hand side of the screen when you start playing. You basically want to avoid anything that's red in this game, I've noticed. Red is like instantaneous death. But I feel like this is kind of a throwback to some older PC games that I remember, and older arcade games, just done in a more modern setting. I think a lot of people would enjoy this. I personally went and gave it a thumbs up myself. I think if you enjoy it, you should too, and maybe help get this developer get their game on Greenlight. And who wouldn't pay under $5 for this? Next up here is Solomon 2. Solomon 2 is a hardcore action platformer with roguelike elements. It takes place in a huge random generated castle. It has many weapons, magics, and items, 20 completely different enemies, and very hard battles with evil bosses. Some of the features it includes is it's a shooter or a slash 'em up. There's two characters to choose from, Solomon and Oberon, each which specialize in different weapons. Oberon is the one that carries the katana, and Solomon has his handgun. There's leveling up, which improves your weapons and character stats, damage, speed, the force status effects, etc. Random. Everything's random. Every playthrough has been unique. I experienced that myself and can definitely attest to that. I have never played the same game twice trying this out. Lots of different enemies, tons of weapons. I gave it a try, and it is a very, very, very difficult game. The enemies come at you. They are relentless. They're ruthless. In my opinion, they take too many hits to kill. I mean, I understand the idea behind the roguelike setting to keep leveling up, but wow, this game is overwhelmingly hard. I think with some fine-tuning and some adjustments, though, made to the difficulty level, or maybe just the overall range of motion, it could be quite a solid game. This is the kind of thing that that really brings my attention to Greenlight. I think this is made by one person. He's got a really, really solid idea. I like the game, but as you can tell, these enemies they're way too difficult to kill, and there's nowhere to go. You only have left and right, and the enemies are way too big to get around and to get away from. It's taken me, I'd say, almost a week now to get to a point where I can get to the part where I'm leveling up. So the difficulty is definitely there. And not that I have a problem with difficult games, it's just that I think it's a little too ramped up. And this is before I turn on cry mode. This game also features a cry mode, which is insanely difficultly hard. So, but honestly, this is what brings my attention to things in Greenlight. I think this is something that if he were to be able to get enough backing on, this one kid that's taken the time to do this could spend a lot more time and effort fleshing this idea out into a fully functioning playable game beyond what he's got here, which is already incredible for a single person to put out. I gave it a thumbs up. It's not 100% fleshed out. It's not a 100% game. I wouldn't buy it in its state, but it's so close. It's almost there. I really enjoy this kind of effort put out from an independent developer. So let us know what you think. Maybe take a poke around the Greenlight yourself if you haven't before. Find yourself some games on there, and if there's something you'd like to see featured on here, drop us a line in the email or in the comments below. Hey gamers, this is Gamer Guy in a Suit again. I just wanted to kind of gauge your opinion on the video we just did. This is the first of my Greenlight Spotlight series, and the whole plan is to, try and get some exposure for some of these games that are in the Steam Greenlight. If this is something you'd like to continue to see, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks a lot, and make sure you subscribe to the Echo Army YouTube channel, and happy gaming all.